Hello, this is Transformers fan G138, and this is my video review of Transformers Classics Jetfire. This is one of the only Transformers I bought secondhand. Most of the rest I've bought firsthand in package, right from the store or the internet. But I found this guy at BotCon. There's a few issues wrong with it, like it only came with one missile. And it looks like somebody tried customizing it, because there's some paint on here that doesn't match and is done by brushes, but it's not bad. It was $175 cheaper than the alternative, which was buying a brand new one or one that was in perfect condition. So I got a near perfect condition Transformer for $20, where I could go and buy one at the booth next door for $200. So yes, I was very pleased with my purchase. Well, he's loaded with special features, and this is one of my favorite molds. I didn't even try seeking this mold out until I got Treadbolt on sale at Walmart for like $10. So, or $8, sorry. It was $8 I got Treadbolt on sale for, and I decided, oh my god, I have to have the Jetfire. And then I went to BotCon and found this guy, as well as a second Treadbolt, which I then painted into Star Saber, which is sad, as I bought the second-hand Treadbolt for more than I paid for my in-package Treadbolt. Well, anyway, I'll get into some of the special features here. He's got moving wings. You know, you can put them all the way back. Yeah, that's cool. Put them all the way forward, which actually this resembles the ship out of Gundam 00, which is interesting. I noticed. That's interesting. Although Jetfire was originally built off a Robotech figure. But that's okay. The missile pods are down here. If I can show you the missile launcher with the one missile I have. And I do like the translucent blue plastic. I wish I had the second one. I'm much more fan of the blue plastic than the weird brown, orangey, burnt orange plastic they used on Treadbolt. Still like Treadbolt though. Also, I'll show off some of the mods I did on this guy a little as I'm doing this, so it's pretty cool. You can pull this back and release the cannons, which is pretty awesome. That's a cool feature. In addition to that, you can take these cannons right off and have just a plain jet. You can also take the missile launchers on the arms off. And I'll get into why I keep these in a box in just a second. Also, so he's still got these, which you can take off, because I'll need to take this off for transformation anyway. And here you have this nice basic jet. The only thing that looks robotic on him are these hands. And realistically, they're a very minor complaint. I like it. And there's actually probably enough room in here in the cockpit for a Micro Machine figure, or especially if you take the helmet off and it removes these side guns. But in this mode, you just put these up, and you have a really, really, really cool looking jet. And I just love this. I think it's nice. It's bright. It's white. I like it. But now I'll get into my modification I did. If you undo these two screws, inside there are these two plastic things that screw into each of these. If you remove that piece from each of the cannons and then screw everything back together, just remove the screws out of those pieces and then put those pieces back in. These actually become like a friction holder, and you can now take these out. You can see the pieces in there that are white, the screw holes used to go into. And these almost have the appearance of mini-con ports, but they're not quite. And you can take these off, and you can now plug these on under the wings, and I'll show you how to do that. This mod is really simple to do. It doesn't damage the figure at all, so it's completely reversible. Just turn the hand, actually turn the hand that way so that so his hand looks like this. Take the opposite cannon. Oh, and his landing gear are great on this figure, by the way. Line it up so the first hole goes into the arm, and the second one goes into his hand, because it's the same size, conveniently. Do that on both sides. And they actually stand there pretty well. And then, unfortunately, this modification renders these useless as it lifts it up above. It actually balances it perfectly, so you don't need even the front ones. And then the front one. Then you just plug this piece back into here. And line these back up. And there you have a modded version with the cannons under the wings. The easiest modification to do. I actually discovered that mod when I was taking apart the Treadbolt figure to turn him into Star Saber. And the cool thing about that is also when I was doing that, I discovered another mod which is also easy to do and non-permanent, and I'll show that one off too when I get there. And that's in robot mode. So I'm going to go ahead and get this guy in robot mode and talk about the articulation and the mod I did, as well as the overall looks. And here he is in robot mode. I'm going to try to balance the camera a little bit better, so sorry if it's a little bit shaky here. And okay, that is almost good. Alright, sorry about that. Alright, so his weapons on the bottom, actually, when they come off his hands, they can then plug together and form a gun. I don't particularly love this gun. For the most part, it sits in the box, and I don't bother with it. But it's there, it's got the double barrels like you should, so it's nifty, it works. Not real a fan of it. Now, before I get into anything else, I'll talk about it just before I do the articulation. He had these nasty, pain in the butt, really tough to move friction joints. Were kind of like half ratchet joints that went click, and like, you know, it's just like hard to move. But what I found is if you unscrew this screw and remove this plate, it's a little tiny black piece of plastic that just is set in there. If you remove that and then screw this all back together, this moves like a normal friction hinge and makes everybody's life so much easier. You got so much more motion there because you're not putting it at a specific point, and it flows nice and easier to pose. So his missile launchers can clip off of his hands, which unfortunately leave these big gaping holes, but that's actually pretty good. And I'll get into that why in a second. He's got this feature here where the guns can come out and then rotate down over his shoulders, which is pretty cool. It means he can use heavy cannons. That's pretty nifty. But the mod I did before is also usable in this mode by turning his hand up, putting his hand down, and then losing his arm plate under the desk. Just putting that on. You can do this for both at once, and it looks pretty cool. Here, let me just put the other one on here. And I also did with this one with the Star Saber one, even though it doesn't make as much sense. So I'll do some articulation in just a second. I want to find this piece on the floor before I forget about it. Okay. So I'll just take these off. It's easier to do the articulation without. These can rotate out of the way as long as this piece isn't there. These can rotate out of the way. You have you don't have any movement in the foot, as these are geared together, but they are pretty solid. His overall legs have a swivel in them, as well as a ratchet joint knee, which is much better than the friction joint. Extreme friction joint, I guess you would call it up here. I don't really know what you would call that kind of joint, but if you have the mold, you'll know what I'm talking about. He's got another ratchet joint up in here. He's got another ratchet joint here. Imagine taking all those apart to paint them and then putting them back together. There's over 1,000 pieces in this one transformer. Yeah, over 1,000. I counted. So it's really nice. I feel like I know this mold better for it, though. Another cool feature. I'll get into this. He's got kind of like a ratchet joint here in the shoulder too, which is nice. He's got his arm is itself a really big friction joint, which is what I fixed in the arm here. Then he's got this movement here, rotation here, and rotation here. So he's got a lot of posability. The only thing I'd like to see different is the, I had it a minute ago and I don't remember what it was. But I really do love this mold. I think it's pretty awesome. One of my favorites. Another cool feature, this is what I was going to mention. Yeah, his helmet comes off. And you can rotate it around on the ball and socket joint, and it's pretty cool. He's got some nice light piping, so you can either have the toy accurate version from the G1 series, or you can have the show accurate one. It doesn't matter. It's pretty cool looking. So you can either do Skyfire, Jetfire, or whatever. So this can actually plug in right on the back here too. So if you want to give them some extra machine guns and storage, that's pretty neat. It just clips on there. So I think that's pretty neat. This ranks as one of my favorite Transformer molds. So I hope you enjoy it too if you plan on picking it up. So that concludes my video review of Transformers Classics Jetfire review. If you have any questions about the figure, please post a comment down below and I will get back to you. And if you have any questions on the modifications I did, again, please ask down below and I will answer the best I can. I'll also, depending on the request, I will do a tutorial on it. They're very easy to do. And if you have any further requests for videos or reviews, please also post down in the comments below or message me. That goes for everything. You can message me too. I'll probably be a little slower messaging than answering on the comments. But there's that. And that concludes the video. So thanks for watching.